You're watching SKST Radio.
Well, welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, and you tuned into the Grayson Show. Today is Small Business Network, and we have a new guest, a new friend I just met today. He goes by the name of Joseph. Joseph, welcome to the show!
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Super thrilled to be here. You know, I was thinking about you all summer, and I was like, gosh, I got to get on the show. I want to be on the show. I want to hang out. I want to talk business, talk shop. Hopefully help your audience out. And yeah, just have a great time while we're doing it.
Oh, see, this is so cool. He thought about me all summer long. See, that's what friends do. They think about one another.
That's so right. And sometimes we take action on it, right? Sometimes we actually go, yeah, you know, I should actually do something about that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Right on.
Oh, I love you already. Okay. So Joseph, tell people who you are and what you do.
Oh, who am I? Well, I'm Joseph, and I'm coming to you from the great state of Wyoming these days. Moved here from Southern California native, born and raised in Southern California. And in 2002, I started a website design and marketing company. And at the time, the internet was a baby thing, right? And so I thought, well, this would be a great thing I could teach myself and a good long-term career. So here we are, 21 years later. Yeah, 21 years later. And I founded the company, obviously, like I said, 2002, started having employees 2010. And so what are we? Well, MyUnlimitedWP and then Creative 7 Design. So two companies. We are a full service website design and marketing agency. Couple of things that kind of make us a little bit different is the fact that we actually have a full-time staff. I'm not just a solopreneur and outsourcing everything all over the place, right? We have a great full-time staff that goes across 6 of the U.S. states and wide variety of people with all kinds of skills, marketing director, project director, people who can do social media, people who can do stuff like this. We have administrative assistant, web team, all that good stuff.
Wow.
We try to separate ourselves. You know, we're a dime a dozen, right? Let's face it. There are thousands of people out there that do what we do, but I think the ways that we separate ourselves make us different, help us to provide a product to people that is unique and special. And so that's us in a nutshell, I guess you could say.
Well, you know, it's interesting because me and the team, we were talking about that just this morning. Basically, we have clients that's coming in that need some work done, and they're looking for us to be able to do all that. Well, we're podcasting. That's our thing, you know? And so, but marketing comes with it. And so we're thinking, okay, are we big enough? Are we able to do this right now? You know, do we have enough team power to do this? And so it's interesting that we're talking today because now, you know, we have telephone numbers and things that we can do to kind of get those clients in someone else's hands if they need it.
Yeah. You know, the market in general in our space and in so many different spaces it's changed so much in the last just 2 years. Because of COVID and things like that, but just also like cost of doing business and other dynamics, right? Inflation, all these things are affecting business. And a lot of business owners are going, who do I partner with that can help me move forward through this, just what has really become just sort of this mess.
Right.
It's like, do I do Facebook? Do I do LinkedIn? Do I do Alignable? Do I do podcasting? Do I do TikTok? How do I even grow my business anymore? Like that's the main question that a lot of people come to us with. It's like, we don't even know where to start. We feel like we're doing all this stuff and nothing works. Right. And a lot of times what people are facing is the fact that we're worn out. We're like exhausted by all of it. First of all, because it just feels like we have to do so much in so many places to be successful. And one of the things that we kind of are getting more that we're trying to migrate people towards the mindset of pick one or two things that you could be really good at and be really good at it. And if it's podcasting, like we're doing right now, doing a live podcast, like do it well. Like that's what you need to do. Focus on it. And so in my experience in business and just in the industry in general, it's really about getting rid of the noise and focusing on what could really work for you.
Right.
And we're finding that that's the only way it's going to move forward with the way that business is going in general and industry in general. And this doesn't just apply to my businesses, you know, and what we do. This applies to all of us. And no matter what we're doing, we got to pick our battles and pick them wisely and do them well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what's going to make the difference.
Right. You know, the blueprint is not there anymore. You know, there's no wrong or right way in my book. And I've been doing marketing for years. There's no wrong or right way. It's just a way of learning the new way, the new age, and staying up on top of the trends and what's going on and what people are actually doing. If you fall asleep, you're left behind. You know, you have to start all over, like TikTok. You know, at first they thought TikTok was for the young people. Well, no, it's for everyone now because we're catching on. You know, everybody's learning how to TikTok. And so, and it's a great marketing tool. I mean, it really is. You know, I hate to admit it, but it is. And so I'm the queen of Facebook. You know, I love Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, it's Instagram now. You know, that's probably one of the number one. And LinkedIn, I would give for professionals, LinkedIn, and for just entertainment, fun, and things like that, it would be Instagram for me.
Yeah, you know, I think that's kind of one of the challenges is it's like, I don't want a TikTok. I'll just talk to you, right? I'll just say it straight up right now. Like, that's not something I want to be doing. You know, I've been in business for 21 years. And I think it was really good what you said. It's like, I was in business for 21. I've been in business for 21 years. 19 of those years, we followed a blueprint. Like I had 35 employees and we had a blueprint that worked for us and worked for our clients. And what happened for us and so many businesses is even through COVID, that blueprint kind of worked still, right? It kind of worked. But post-COVID, might as well just throw out the blueprint. Like it just, with everything going on, everything just changed radically, just started really shifting. And right now, and that's a challenge. You said something really, really good. And that was that the market is changing, but it's changing at a rate that most of us cannot keep up with.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the hard part about it is it's like, yeah, okay. So Joseph, I've picked my 2 channels or whatever that I want to focus on. I want to podcast and I want to do TikTok or whatever your 2 or 3 are that you pick. Even just keeping up with going with what's going on those platforms, it's like a full-time job.
Yeah. We
Really
say that all the time. You know, you have to be able to focus on doing one or the other, or like you said, 2 or 3, and be good at it.
Yeah. You know, I've been telling business owners just the last couple of weeks, because I do a couple of webinars on Alignable, which is a great B2B platform. Maybe after this show, I could send you some stuff because you could put that on your show about Alignable. But I've been telling business owners, hey, have you heard of Google Business Profile? And they're like, what? Google Business Profile? What in the world is that? The world is moving so fast. Google has changed Google My Business to Google Business Profile. That's happened recently. Good. I'm glad. It sounds like you've heard of it. So
and actually we won Business of the Year with Alignable.
Oh, so Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, nice. Good. So you know the value of that platform. But Google recently changed their entire profile, their business profile thing completely. And I've been telling business owners, hey, you need to go on Google. You need to go to your Google My Business, which is now Google Business Profile. And you need to update all your stuff because they've changed everything.
Absolutely.
And things like this that go on in the industry every week. And if businesses don't know about this stuff, whether it's Alignable, whether it's Google changing their whole Google My Business thing, they changed it all over the summer. business owners need to get on there and they need to change this stuff, because guess what? So many of us rely on Google for new business.
Yeah.
And if they don't know that all this has changed, their profile is still there, but it's not fully optimized. It's not up to date. It's not being done. And as a result of that, they're going to fall down in the ranks.
Yeah.
They're going to stop showing on the map. They're
Right.
going to stop showing on stuff. And so it's really, really important. And this is where I'm not getting into a pitch really, but what I'm saying is that anyone listening, if they have a business, they need to have a partner of some kind in their corner who can say, hey, guess what happened in this week in this space? You need to pay attention to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise, like you said, is the people that are keeping up with it, what they're doing is they're winning the race. They're getting further and further ahead, right?
Yes.
And the people who aren't are getting further and further behind.
Absolutely.
And it's going to get to a point where the people that are behind are now out of business, or they're so far off from where they need to be over here that they got a lot of work and expense, quite frankly, to get caught up.
Right.
And with AI and everything that's moving in our industry, it's mind blowing how fast it's moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I'm the marketing manager on my full-time job, right? And so I'm full-time there and I'm full-time here, and it's like a lot, to trying to juggle. And so I started doing the how you can do your posting, right?
Yeah, schedule.
So I decided to experiment on something different. I used to use a Hootsuite, but now that Facebook has its own new thing, everyone has their own way of doing it now. Then I tried to incorporate AI in it, and it was great, but some of the AI wasn't great, based off of the posting that I was trying to do. But it's still, I wasn't upset about it not being right, but I was very proud of myself because I feel like I am moving more into the new way of doing things,
Yeah, well, and that stuff is only going to get better. Someone told me just the other day, AI is not going to replace you and me. That's not what's going to replace us. AI is not going to replace anybody. So anyone that believes that, stop believing that right now. AI is not going to replace any of you, but the people using the AI are going to be the ones replacing you. So a person like me who is using AI to do all of these things has caused me to become much more productive and efficient.
Yes.
I will be replacing the people who are not using it and are less efficient.
Yes.
So that's kind of the situation that's going on there. And that's what's going on. Yeah. And so you've got to be using it. You've got to be embracing it. You've got to think about how it affects your industry and what you could do to change it.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is now, especially for, like you said, with social media and content production, unfortunately, what this is going to do to a lot of that is it's going to bring the value down of that content, because now there's so much content being produced.
Yes.
Now, those of us who can think outside the box and go, I could use these tools to create more, but I got to use it in a way that's unique.
Exactly.
I got to use it in a way that's special. And if they could do that, and a lot of that has to do with me and you getting our faces in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
So using these tools, but being there, being authentic and being real, will be what separates the winners and the losers, I think, in the stuff that's going on.
I totally agree. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more with Joseph hot stuff that he got going on.
All right. Yeah.
Well, welcome back. If you just tuned in, you haven't tuned in too late. You tuned into SKST Radio, and I have my special friend Joseph here, who's giving us some inside scoop on what's going on in the marketing world and in the professional business world. Man, people out there, you guys, this is some valuable information that you can't even pay for. So listen up. I mean, he got all these nuggets that he's sharing with us. So, Joseph, back on you.
Oh yeah, great. Thank you again for having me. This is actually stuff I do get paid for. Actually, people do pay me to talk about this stuff. So it's really great to be able to be here and share some of that, I guess, insider scoop, with your audience. It's so much fun. So yeah, deep diving in, continuing our conversation. I think one of the things that I could say to business owners right now, what are we? It's October, right? So we're in October. Before we know it, we're all going to have holiday brain, right? We're
Exactly.
just bam, bam, bam. We're going to kind of try to keep business going, but we're going to be holiday brain. Let's face it. Not just us, but a lot of our clients and our partners, they're going to all be holiday brain too. I think what business owners really need to do right now is they need to step back. They need to take a deep breath. And they need to go, okay, 2024 is coming up. What is my vision and plan?
Mm-hmm.
What are the things that I can get rid of? What do I need to get rid of? And what do I need to hold on to and move forward with? Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges that everyone's going to have moving forward into next year is going, okay, 2023 was a doozy. There's just so much changing, so much going on in the industries, in different industries, in marketing, in websites, in the business and the economy. We gotta figure out what we're doing next year. We gotta start making those plans, and we gotta go, okay, you know what? All of this in 2023 needs to go in the recycling bin, and it just needs to go. What are we going to do in 2024 that's going to be tangible and work for us?
Right.
And be something that we can obviously afford and be consistent at, and I think that's business owners that are listening right now live, or whether you're going to listen to this later, that's what you need to do. You need to step back. You need to take a deep breath. You need to stop what you're doing and go, what do I really need to be doing? What do I need to be prioritizing? Not only for ourselves, but for our teams. If you have a team,
right,
that you're making the right decisions for those things. Because the bottom line is someone else. I love quoting people. I talk to a lot of business owners, you guys, like all week long. Someone said to me the other day, adapt or die. That's good. That's kind of what from a business standpoint, right now you've got to either adapt to the things that are going on, or you're not going to be in business anymore.
Right.
And I don't care who you are.
That's true.
If you're the website company like us, website design, support, marketing, or you're the plumber, or you're the locksmith, or you're the gardener, or you're the administrative assistant, or you're the dentist, or you're the insurance agent. I don't really care who you are or what you're doing. You need to think really hard about where you're headed. Now more than ever, I think. And of course, we're coming up to another election year. Oh boy, that's I'm sure we're all just super excited.
On top of the cake.
We're so excited about that. Us business people, we just assume they just leave us alone
and let us live.
I don't care you're right, left, center. It doesn't matter. Would you just leave us alone so we could do what we want to do, and be successful and live the American dream, so to speak, and do all that. Like, leave us alone, And so, we got an election year next year. That's also going to throw a monkey wrench in a lot of what we're trying to do as businesses or business owners, And I don't care what direction it goes at this point. It's like, just leave us alone, so we can. I
totally agree. Totally agree.
So that's something I would just really say to business owners is that piece, Well,
let me ask you this: how do you go about getting customers these days?
That is a great question. And that is the number one question that I get. And I'm so glad you asked that. That's going to go back to what I was saying in the first segment, which is pick one or two things that you're going to be really, really good at. And maybe it's in person. Maybe it's going to Chamber of Commerce. Maybe it's I go to Provisors. Maybe it's BNI. Maybe it's something like that. Pick one or two things, maybe three things at the most that you're going to be really, really focused on. Figure out, well, first you got to figure out right? You got to figure out where your clients are at, right? Like that's the first thing you got to do.
Well, no, who your clients, you have to establish who your clients are.
Exactly. Who they are and where they are. Like those are the two things. And you need to just, like I said, that's kind of getting back to getting rid of all the distraction, all the mess,
The noise. Yes.
the noise. Stop trying to be in 19 different places and not being good at any of it, because that's what we're all doing. That's what most people are doing, is they're in 19 places and they're not growing and they're getting no opportunities, and it's just not working for them. So pick those 2 or 3 that you're going to be really good at.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be consistent at it for 3-6 months. Once you've done that, by that 3 to 6 month period, you're building relationships, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So you're building those relationships. After 3 to 6 months, some of those relationships will start turning into those transactions, those new clients. But that's what it takes. I'm coming from where, you know what, let's say I write 60 proposals a month. I usually could close 20 of those in that same month. Not anymore. You have to build that relationship month after month and month. I'm closing those proposals 3 months out now, 3 to 4 months out, because it's requiring that relationship and that work and those things like that. So here's what I personally pick. I do stuff like this. So that's number 1. Number 2, I'm on Alignable and I'm very, very active. I'm doing a lot of business relationships and I'm bringing a lot of value. I'm doing a weekly show. I'm doing a Smart Connected I host. I'm doing that. So those are my 2. And then my 3rd one is my in-person stuff. And I'm happen to be a member of Provisors. So that's my in-person. That's my in-person piece. So those are my 3 that I focus on. I'm the business development director. I used to be the CEO, by the way. I'm obviously the founder. I fired myself as the CEO actually about a month ago. I realized, why am I being the CEO? I don't need to be the CEO. I need to do this. I figured out I need to be doing the business development directing. So I have my 3 things that I focus on every week. And with that, I can do enough to get those new clients that you're talking about. I can do enough to build those new relationships and create those new transactions. Mm-hmm. And I can be beneficial to my network because I can refer people to each other too. When it's not a good fit for us or a good fit for them, I can refer them to someone that is a good fit for them. In fact, I just referred a really big account. It was a marketing account for a very special niche market. They're selling 2,000 episodes of an old TV show. And I'm like, that's not really my gig. Like, that's not something that would fit me. But I have a partner that I was able to connect them with mm-hmm. that I felt could help them sell those 2,000 episodes.
Right.
And so pick those 2 or 3 things that you want to be really good at and do it. And you will get those opportunities. Those opportunities will turn into relationships. Those relationships will turn into transactions.
Right. Right. I always say your network is your net worth. And so, that's very, very important.
Yeah. And it's not for the faint of heart. It's funny. I met a lot of new business owners, right? It's really interesting how many people have started businesses this year. Actually surprising to me. They've left the workforce and they're starting a new business. And what I tell them is, look, it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah. Like, you've got to understand that your relationships are going to take time to build. And those relationships will take time to turn into transactions.
Yeah.
I mean, once in a while you get that person who calls you, say, hey, Joseph, I need a website. I want to hire you. I don't know you, but I want to hire you. And it's like, cool, sweet. Here's the proposal, signed, done, deposit, transaction.
Right.
But that's rare, right? That's rare. You got to take the time to build their relationships. And those relationships, I tell people 3 to 6 months. And you have to be intentional. Don't just have one meeting with me and forget about me. You got to stay in front of me, and you got to keep nurturing me to a point where, well, hey, even you and I staying in contact kind of over the summer on and off, we kind of did that, right? Yeah. And now here we are. We're doing the show together.
Yes.
But it took that time of us building that relationship and having that communication. And then here we are. Now we're doing something together that will hopefully bring value to you and to your audience, but then will hopefully also bring value to all of us.
Exactly. So, and that's what it's all about. That's the networking part. So
Absolutely. And here we are taking, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever, on a Saturday afternoon, right? To do this, to make it happen. And that's what that's the mindset we have to be in order to find those new clients that you're talking about. I mean, this is what we got to be doing.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this though. So now the way things are going, and like you said, just about everyone has a business. They're doing their own business.
Mm-hmm.
People think that you're being successful. They see what you're doing, Joseph, and they're thinking, "Oh, wow, I can do that."
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking, "I can do that," but they don't realize all the work that you did to get where you are, right?
Yeah.
And so, how do you tell a person that you don't want to discourage them from doing what you do, right? But you also want them to understand it's not like you can just pick up and go.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question. Because I've talked to a lot of new business owners recently, like I said, to my surprise, because I'm like, wow, people are starting businesses right now. Like, wow, I'm impressed by that. Like, I totally am. I wouldn't want to start a business right now, like, to be honest. What I tell them is find the place and the platform that you could create your own community and thought bubble or your thought space, right? We hear about like influencers, right? Influencers, micro influencers, thought leaders, all that kind of stuff. So what I tell people is like, find that platform where you can create a micro influence of thought leadership. So if you're an insurance agent, find that platform where you could bring value to people, to a community. Start small. Call yourself a micro influencer. Call yourself a micro thought leader. And find that. So I have actually had the pleasure of being able to find that on Alignable for myself, where I have been able to create a bubble of thought leadership, a small community that I can grow and nurture over time.
Right.
And it's hard to find that online right now anywhere, right? But even on your favorite platforms, Facebook, guess what? You could do that. If that's where you're going to put your energy, let's say, I'm going to be a thought leader on Facebook, and I'm going to do these things to create my thought bubble, my thought leadership bubble, and build a small community over time. It will come back. It will come back. So that's why I tell people that are new to business or just starting out or just trying to do that. Like, just find a space where you can thrive and create a community around your brand or around what you're trying to do, whether you're an insurance agent or a contractor. It doesn't matter what you are. Find that space. It's funny. I heard the other day that there's a contractor out there on TikTok, and he's just like killing it. He's like killing it. He has tons of people, and he's found a way to make like building houses and remodeling kitchens, and people just love his content. and as a result, and as a result, his business is off the hook. It's going really well. People are picking up the phone. Hey, I want you to do my kitchen or my bathroom or my whatever. Right? And so find your spot. Stop trying to be in so many places. Find your spot and nurture it and grow it and water it. And I think anyone in any business can do that right now today, even in a challenging economy, and win. I think that's my 2 cents worth.
Well, let me tell you something funny. So growing up, my sister, my brother, we all used to, my mom got us on this. We used to look at this program, Twilight Zone, right? The old black and white Twilight Zone. Well, I did just that. I started my Facebook page in 2014 or something like that, right? And basically it was just family who would jump on there. We'll discuss, the marathons for the holidays and things like that. Do you know that my Twilight Zone page has grown to over 5,000 members?
Oh my gosh.
No, it's 10,000, I believe. Yeah. I think it's 10,000. We're at 10,000. And it's kind of like I didn't do much to nurture it other than posting the Twilight Zone things. It was fun. It was just stuff to do for fun. Then another guy got on. He learned how to put the whole episodes on. So it started growing from there. And now it's its own little bubble. It's like, how do I make money off of this?
Okay. So I love that, because here you found something that is not necessarily straight business related, right? But
Right.
you've been able to create an interest around a community of something that's fun to you and interesting to you. And you're right. Now, how do you turn that into something that can generate revenue? And there are creative ways to do that. I know there has to be.
It has to be.
If you have that many people, maybe what you need to do is see what you need to do to maybe be able to make some Twilight Zone t-shirts with some cool artwork on them or something.
We
right?
are working on
Right?
that.
Okay,
We're
so see,
working on a podcast show,
Yeah.
Twilight Zone podcast show, inviting some of the members to be on a podcast, and we'll just sort of do what is that, Mystery Science Theater 3000, and do
Right,
something like that on
right,
those lines. So we
right.
are working on that.
Well, yeah, and if you get a big enough listenership, maybe you get people, maybe MyUnlimitedWP or Creative 7 Design sponsor the show, right? You get someone to
Yeah.
sponsor the show. You say, hey, we got 2,000 listeners a week at our Twilight Zone show. You probably could get some kind of a sponsor for something like that, or something like that. So there's ways to do this. I happen to, on the side, I'm an avid I'm a stamp collector. I like to buy, sell, trade US stamps. Well, I've been able to create a small community around that.
Wow.
And so that's kind of what I'm getting at, is get creative with people. Want to do business with people, right? We don't want to do business with machines. We know how frustrating it is whenever you call Verizon or AT&T or any of these places, right?
Yeah.
And you're on the phone for 4.5 hours to get them to take a $6 charge off your bill that they keep putting back on your bill, right? So we know people want to do business with people. So find something interesting like the Twilight Zone or collecting stamps or something, like whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And build a brand around it. Build and tie it into your insurance agency in some way to where you can work it and you build a community. And people like that. People can relate to that.
Right.
And I think that especially in the AI age, right? If we could do something that's relatable and turn it into business, it's a win for everybody.
Absolutely. But this is so cool. I'm talking to you because it just confirms that we're moving in the right direction.
Yep.
And so I really love that. I love being able to bounce things off with you. That is so cool. That
but you know how much work it is, right? Like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Even with AI helping you, it's still a lot of work.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm one of those people that if something's on my mind, I don't sleep, right? So what do? I post, I write, I do articles, all kinds of things related to being able to post on social media. I do LinkedIn articles, everything to build the Cammie Grayson show, everything to build SKST radio, everything to build even my client's spiritual networking, so whatever I can do and it comes to mind, I just kind of go with it, just keep going, keep going, don't stop.
Well,
and so,
keep the consistency. If the consistency is there, the win is coming. Like, for everybody, not just you, your audience, for the people that come on your show, the win is there. It's just being there, showing up, like what we're doing right now, being consistent about it, and because you like doing it. I mean, that's the fun about it. I'm going to get off because this is what I love doing. By the way, what we're doing right now is what I love doing. I'm going to get off of this show when we're done, and I'm going to have that energy. I'm going to be
what, what, Joseph? It's going to get to the point where I really probably would love to have you on the show more, because I love the energy, and I think that we could probably, dedicate a show just for when you're going to come on once a month or every a quarter, just so we can have you on, because I feel like marketing is what people need to be successful. And so if I have to stand on my soapbox, my pink chair here, I'm going to keep preaching it, because that's what's going to make it. You have to be consistent. And I'm one of those influencers. I took a course last year, I think. And so it's just a matter of, okay, now how I'm going to use it. I have my certification. Now how am I going to use it?
It's so different and unique for everybody too.
Yes.
It is, because let's face it, you and I are different people, right? And so you have this Twilight Zone thing going on. I got a stamp thing going on. The next person might have, maybe the next person, I don't know, baseball cards or, or tools, right? Or whatever it is that makes you tick and brings you joy, And so We have puppies that we have a certain kind of dog that we breed. Like that's something that's fun. People love dogs, right?
Yeah.
Bring your animal. It's funny. I do a lot of videos for our content, right? For our companies. And what my marketing director was commenting, it's like, Joseph, like every time you take a video, I feel like there's some animal in the background, you know? and I'm like, I actually didn't really realize that, but that's something that now we can kind of have fun with in our brand, right? Like, so
Right.
maybe I'm doing a video about vision or about planning for 2024, and there's like a bunch of chickens in the background, right? And people actually like that. They're like, oh, it's the marketing guy who always has a goat in his background or a dog or something, right? And then people get used to seeing that, and then suddenly people just want to watch because they don't know what's going to walk behind me
Yeah,
in the next
exactly.
video, right?
Yeah,
And
so it's kind of like your branding, right? And my engineer, he was saying today, he was like, you always have something purple or pink. You always have something purple, And so the thing is, SKSTs, that's been our colors for years. And I've been doing this for over 25 years.
So
And
we all of us, everybody that's listening has something like that they can bring into their brand, and it'll be fun and people will like it. People will enjoy it. And then when people enjoy it, people start asking about it. And then after people ask about it, then they turn into contract. They turn into transactions. They turn into those new clients, or they turn into someone who says, hey, you know what? I haven't actually used Joseph's services, but I know he's the guy you need to talk to.
Right.
Like, and so then that audience thinks about you, right? And then you get those opportunities. And so I don't know, for people that are listening, find your thing. Is it the animal in the background? Is it the purple and pink colors? What is it that makes you, that makes you special?
Right.
And use it in your business, and you'd be surprised how much your audience will like that, and how that'll help you grow.
Right. And you said another magic thing too. Don't keep it for yourself. Share, network. Your network is your net worth. Share. If I can't help you, maybe I know someone who can help you. So share. And that's the hardest thing right now. Everyone keeps everything here. They don't want to share. They don't want to, give referrals out. To me, that's the most important thing. Just share.
Yeah, and I think it's hard for us too right now, because it's hard to give a lot right now because a lot of us are hungry, right? A lot of us are, let's face it, kind of going through it in business a little bit. And to give out that value and give out that sharing, I'm doing a lot of stuff like this. And I'll be honest, like I said, like I like to get paid for stuff like this. But the bottom line is I've got to be giving out that value. I've got to be pouring that value out with the hope and expectation that it's going to come back in. Right. Yeah. And now it's a mindset. I'm not doing it for that reason, but I know how it works. Right. We know how it works. Right. So sometimes we give away we give away some of the golden eggs and be like, hey, I see you're struggling. Do these things that will help you.
Yes. Because it doesn't hurt. But like you said, you don't want to give it all away. Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to give.
What'll happen is if I give them those golden eggs, and they go and they start winning, they'll realize, oh, I'm now ready to hire Joseph to do some of this stuff.
Yes.
And so that it does come back. It's hard when you're just constantly pouring out. It's hard.
Yeah.
But that's what you got to do. Bring your value, bring your worth. Some of the experts in business say lead with value.
Exactly. But we run into a lot of, the competition, right? Where they come and they look at what you have and then they try to mimic what you have, opposed to, do you not realize we teach podcasting? We will set you up in a classroom and we will show you the steps from A to Z on how to do your own podcast.
Yeah.
And our engineer will tell you all day long, you can do this from home. You don't have to be here in the studio. If you want the professional feel, look, people catering to you, we offer drinks, coffee, snacks. We offer all that. So when you come in the studio, you're relaxing. You don't have to worry about anything. Just sit there, look good. We make sure that the show runs for you.
Yeah.
But you can do this at home. So we want.
I'm coming in from my little office right now, my home. So
you
can.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of a mess right now, but I've got lights all around and I've got my little setup here, and it works.
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
works.
Absolutely.
And just show up, just be there and keep doing it, and you'll find it some wins.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really enjoyed this. I know we got more to come. We got more to come. This is going to be so much fun. But tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity. If you're interested in having a discussion about your market and your marketplace and kind of figuring out some of the stuff that we've talked about in today's shows, you can go to creative7designs.com or MyUnlimitedWP.com and reach out to us, or you can just call our office, 909-214-3468, 909-214-3468. We pick up during business hours. If not, just leave us a message. But yeah, find us on most social media, Creative 7 Designs, MyUnlimitedWP. You can connect with me, Joseph Kibler, personally, if you'd like, and have a chat. Happy to do that. And thank you so much for the opportunity today. I really enjoyed the show.
Absolutely. Now give us some words of wisdom. So if you were someone wanted to do what you're doing right now, what type of advice would you give them?
I'm just going to sum up what we talked about today, to be honest. Step back. Create your mission, create your vision, get rid of the noise, and be purposeful about every minute that you spend working on your business. Remove the distractions and have goals. Yeah, just do it. Just do that. Do the 2 or 3 things instead of the 19 things. And you'll see you'll feel a lot better too, because you're actually having real conversations, building real relationships, not just all this meaningless stuff. And I think I think that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, guys, this concludes our show for today. Well, I can keep on going. This is a good one.
Love it. We will do it again. I look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So until next week, guys, SKST Radio, Small Business Network. Tell them bye, Joseph.
See you guys later.